Stem cells, a selective review of these states' policies, UK, China, Italy, and Germany. The 2nd of February, 2018. China is in a unique situation because all of their plans are detailed out in their Ministry of Health. They have a 5-year plan that spells out all of their research and regulation. The only regulation that is notable is their reproductive cloning is prohibited because they are a part of the world powers, and the United Nations restricts a lot of the things that people are allowed to do. But in terms of the regulations in China itself, they're actually leaders in research because of their their lack of restriction. They also allow ES cells to be obtained via somatic cell nuclear transfer, and amongst other ways that the United States and other countries wouldn't normally allow, for instance, the aborted fetal cells. And they also allow for the voluntary donation of germ cells.
Our next country is the UK, where research on embryonic stem cells is legal. The UK was actually the first to identify embryonic stem cells in mice at Cardiff University in Wales by Martin Evans. There are ethical regulations that limit research development, such as approval requirements from the Research Ethics Committee. There is also the HFEA, which is the Human Fertilization and Embryology Authority that grants licenses for research. Another interesting note, which is different from the US, is that embryos can be donated specifically for research purposes. Of course, these embryos still need to meet regulatory guidelines. The UK is one of the leading researching countries because of their more relaxed view on embryonic stem cell research in comparison to other countries. They also have a lot more support from both the government and the public, and their legislation doesn't prohibit research, but focuses more on regulation.
The country of Italy does not support research with embryonic stem cells. After passing Law 40 in February 2004, scientists were prohibited from using embryos for any research unless it went towards improving the medical conditions of the embryo. However, the law does support the use of adult stem cells for research. The reason that the law was passed was due to the strong impact of the Catholic Church in Italy, which influences how the Italian government works and functions. The teachings within the Catholic Church oppose embryo research. Thus, Law 40 forbids the creation of new cell lines from embryos for scientific purposes. However, scientists found a loophole by importing embryonic stem cells from other countries and studying them.
Germany's regulations on stem cell research are more strict than most countries. The use of embryos for research is heavily restricted. Embryos can only be used for research if they are vital in developing new medical and scientific knowledge. The creation of new embryonic stem cell lines is illegal. However, it is possible to import embryonic stem cell lines, although obtaining the embryos is difficult and strictly regulated. Originally, the lines must have been derived before January 1, 2002, but after pressure from scientists, the date was changed to May 2, 2007. The German Constitution states that human dignity is inviolable and everyone has the right to life and inviolability of his person. This provides the foundation for laws on stem cell research. Somatic cell nuclear transfer is illegal because human egg cells cannot be donated for any purpose. The destruction of embryos is also prohibited.
This is a comparison chart of our 4 countries, and we included the US just for reference. An interesting thing to note is that even though embryonic stem cell research is illegal in Italy, there is still active research being conducted. Furthermore, Italy has high regulation, and yet there is still research being done. The other 3 countries are pretty standard, where research is either legal and being conducted or illegal and not being conducted. The only real variation is over the level of regulation. China has the lowest regulation, and Italy and Germany have the highest. Both the United States and the United Kingdom are in between with a moderate level of regulation.